Hey everyone, it's September 26th, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share with serial killer Daniel Jones, who murdered at least 4 victims in Missouri between 1998 and 2001, and that is him right over there. Jones was born in Kansas City in 1969, and though I've been unable to find out much about his home life, it's well documented that he often found himself in trouble at school. While this started as skipping class and being disruptive, it escalated to the assault of a teacher when he was 17. On the last day of his senior year of high school, he dragged a teacher from an empty classroom to a dark auditorium where he sexually assaulted her and threatened to kill her if she told anyone about what had happened. She went to the authorities and was able to identify Jones by his yearbook photo, which along with the hair he left behind led to his conviction and a sentence of 10 years in prison. He appealed, claiming that telling jurors about his past discipline problems was prejudicial, but that failed, and he was kept behind bars until his parole in 1996. Returning to his old neighborhood, he was welcomed back into the community where he had lived most of his life. But things soon went from bad to worse, and women were turning up having been stabbed to death. The first was in December of 1998. A young woman whose mother lived across the street from the Jones family and who used to play with his younger sister when they were kids. His sister even ended up singing at her funeral, all while the police were stumped as to who would have stabbed the 19-year-old multiple times. When Jones would visit his parents, he made an effort to say hello to the grieving mother across the street, all while knowing that he was the reason for her grief. The next year, another woman was stabbed to death in her apartment, and this time Jones was a suspect. She was scheduled to testify in a robbery case, and reports at the time hint that he was involved in that crime, but I've been unable to find more details on that. A few months later, a third victim was discovered, having been sexually assaulted, beaten, and having her throat slashed. But the killer left behind semen, which was collected and sent off for DNA analysis. With the backlogs in lab tests that rape victims face, it took 2 years before it was finally analyzed, coming up as a match for Jones. Just 3 months before that result, he had killed again, which likely could have been prevented had the DNA been tested sooner. His final victim was a young single mother who he knew from high school and who had complained to her mother about Jones frequently calling her at all hours of the night and thought he was stalking her. After not hearing from her for a few days, a neighbor ventured into her apartment to see if she was okay, where they found her 3-year-old daughter sitting alone, and when asked where her mom was, the girl said, "She's in the corner, dead." She'd been stabbed over a dozen times, and Jones's bloody handprint was found at the scene. He was finally arrested and tried for his final murder, receiving a life sentence. Shortly thereafter, he pleaded guilty to 3 additional murders, for which he received 20 years each. The victims' families believe that had the police acted properly from the start, at least 1 or more young women might still be alive, and it seems clear to me that they're correct. Jones is currently behind bars in Missouri, and it seems very unlikely that he'll ever be released. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so they can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Daniel Jones, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.